Hey everyone, how's it going today? Well, there's been a lot of news going on lately with Workhorse, and it seems to be coming out at a very interesting point in time. So I'm going to give you my opinion on why it's coming out now, as well as show you some pivotal points on the chart and why I think this pullback could be a very good buying opportunity. Before I get started, I just want to apologize for my voice. I got really sick over the weekend, and I don't know, maybe that's just poetic justice from my last video. I tried to have a little fun with it and make a joke, and it wasn't taken too well. I've never seen so many thumbs down, so I guess that was the universe telling me to stay on point and just stick to talking about stocks. But if you are new to the channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading and investing opportunities and typically lower-priced stocks. I like to find undervalued, underappreciated stocks with high growth potential and talk about all other things finance-related as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. Also, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of these stocks. Now, the first piece of news I wanted to talk about was the recent downgrade. Roth Capital analyst Craig Irwin downgraded Workhorse Group from a buy to a neutral and lowered his price target to $27, down from $33 a share. Now, Craig Irwin said, "We received an email communication from the USPS after heavy press coverage of our call indicating confidence in Workhorse's bid for the $8.1 billion and 165,000 unit next-generation delivery vehicle contract. We noted then the decision day was slated for October 13th. A post office PR spokesperson indicated it now expects a decision by the end of 2020. We also viewed political optics of an award before the election as essential and now see increased risk for that award." Well, as of this recording, Workhorse is trading under $27, so his price target is still above the current price, but his downgrading has to be the catalyst to have knocked it under $27 in the first place. Now, when I get over to the charts, I'm going to explain why this downgrade coming out right now seems very suspicious. But first, I want to touch base on the recent capital raise because it becomes very important with the delay of the USPS contract announcement. Now, Workhorse has said it has an agreement to sell $200 million worth of 4% senior secured convertible notes due in 2024 to two institutional lenders. The company plans to use the proceeds from the sale to increase production, advance new products to market, refinance debt, and for general corporate purposes. The notes can be converted into common stock at $36.14, which is 35% above Friday's closing price. Chief Executive Dwayne Hughes said, "With this financing in place, we can more quickly advance our production efforts heading into 2021 by increasing our supply chain component volumes, hiring more manufacturing employees, and automating certain sub-assembly processes." Workhorse also entered into an exchange agreement with its holder of its existing 4.5% convertible notes to exchange the full $70 million outstanding principal amount of those notes for shares of the company's common stock. After the closing price and release of these proceeds, the company will have over $270 million in cash available. Well, there is no shortage of drama with this company, and there are a lot of moving parts. So the fact that they're getting all this capital at this point in time with the delay of the contract, I think this is super important and good news if you're a shareholder. Okay, everybody, here is the current daily chart of Workhorse. And as we can see, it is selling off pretty good today after that delayed announcement about the contract and the downgrade that came out as well. But as for me, I like to buy on deep pullbacks, and this isn't a super deep pullback, but in order for the deep pullbacks to happen, bad news has got to be there. So you have to be confident in the face of adversity. You have to have a lot of conviction in the stocks that you're buying so you can take advantage of those pullbacks. But in my previous video, I had outlined this triangle consolidation that I was in. See if I can draw it real quick. But at the point of that recording, it hadn't broken out yet. I think it was still hanging around this area. But it had a rally at the end of the day, and then it had the gap up yesterday, but the gap up sold off. But in that previous video, I talked about a lot of times in these type of consolidations, they will, if they want to buy up the stock before they break it out of this consolidation, they'll send it down for a day. And then, after they kick out the weak hands, they'll send the stock higher. But today it seems like we're having a little bit of the opposite reaction. But let me get these trend lines out of here. If we go to the hourly chart, draw a trend line on this, those recent bottoms right before it broke out. It had 1, 2, 3 touches, and then it shot out after it touched that 50-day simple moving average on the daily chart. But it looks like it is coming right back down to that level. Let's go back to the daily chart so we can see it a little easier. And that 50-period simple moving average is coinciding with that trend line. Let me make that moving average thicker, since that trend line is right over top of it. But you can see it's right there. And also, what I've talked about in previous videos about this area being a resistance area before it broke through it, and now it is a support area. Excuse me. But that area also coincides with it. So if we get a pullback into this area, I'm going to be very interested in adding to my position. Now, this is one of the reasons why I think this move that's happening in these last couple of days is kind of orchestrated. Let me go to the 15-minute chart, zoom in a little bit here. As we can see on the big gap up and then the reversal that it had, these 3 bars were all big up bars, and that, let's see if I can get this to work. That accounted for most of the day's volume. So even though the stock sold off pretty hard into the close, the up volume consisted for most of it. So for whatever reason, buying came out of the stock and all that was left was sellers, and it sent it down. Perhaps word had gotten out that this downgrade and then the USPS excuse me, USPS contract was going to be delayed, and the people that were in the know were taking advantage of it. But that's all speculation. But if we go back to the daily chart, we can see that right now it's mired right back into that consolidation level. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this stock. Like I alluded to before, man, there is no shortage of drama with this stock. If you're a shareholder, you know what I'm talking about. But let me get this stuff out of here. We go to the weekly chart. We can see it is still holding above that 8-period exponential moving average. It's right there, but it's still above, so there's no reason to get too worried about the price action that's currently going on, or at least I don't get too worried unless it gets really weak on the weekly chart. But that's just what I wanted to show you guys today. Hopefully you guys could hear me over my scratchy voice, but let me know in the comment sections what you think about the current action. I mean, it seems to me that downgrade, if you read that report, it's pretty weak. It seems like it was orchestrated to send the stock down. And if you look at this reversal day, plus this downgrade conveniently coming out right around here, that's a pretty good catalyst to drive some weak hands out of the stock, so smart money could accumulate those shares at a lower price. But that is all speculation. That's the game you play when you're investing, and unfortunately I am not in the know when it comes to insider information with this stock, so I have to play the guessing game. But let me know what you guys think about all this news coming out just in these last couple of days. It seems very, very, very suspicious to me. But I'm going to end the video right there. Thank you so much for watching my video and putting up with my scratchy voice. And until next time, take care, everybody.